Prepare yourself, because in the next few minutes, your eyes will witness 7 occurrences that will be presented to the public for the first time. Footage that did not circulate on the internet and that revealed inexplicable events that people, including some of our subscribers, experienced firsthand. Footage that defies logical reasoning and that today exclusively you will have the privilege of seeing. My name is Leonore Clay, and this is The Darkest Secret. Today we present 7 paranormal videos that you have never seen before. Number 7. We begin this investigation with a disturbing circumstance experienced by a subscriber who in her email says that one day while she was feeding her chickens at home, she noticed that something odd was happening to them. For some reason, they were restless and at times even violent with her. So she immediately took out her camera and began recording to later show it to the rest of her family. Only moments later, she would understand what for her was the reason for that behavior. Observe.
Que estos pollos están incontrolables. Ay, esta vaina no se quiere cerrar ahora. Los pollos eso. Mira.
When turning around, she catches the presence of something that was looking at her from the stairs. A hand and part of the face of someone who disappeared in fractions of seconds. Without a doubt, a rather strange sequence. But for our subscriber, the most impressive of all is that according to her, and after an investigation, she found out that a girl had died in this house before she and her family came to live there. Do you think it is the spirit of this minor that the camera captured? Or is it a simple hoax? Watch the video again in slow motion to see if you can find any cuts in the recording that reveal a video edit. Number 6. From the south of Chile, a faithful subscriber was in charge of sending me rare footage captured by a security camera installed in a vacant area where his brother works. It was the brother who told him that in this place, strange movements have been seen at night, figures that fade away, and disturbing shapes that are lost in the dark. All of this circulated among the workers as an open secret that no one had been able to verify. That is, until what you're about to see was captured. Those workers who appear in the image never noticed anything. However, the camera that was always on captures something that otherwise would have remained as a simple story. The camera records the exact moment as a figure crosses the field at a truly impressive speed. That is definitely not an animal, much less a human being. The most worrying of all is that according to Jason, this place in pre-Hispanic times was a native cemetery, which could explain the high and intense paranormal activity that this place presents. Do you think that is the reason for the occurrence of these manifestations? Leave it in the comments. Number 5. What you're about to see, I have analyzed dozens of times, and with my experience in these topics, I really believe that it was a real paranormal phenomenon. The recording, which obviously does not exist anywhere else on the internet, was provided to me directly by Mr. L, a subscriber who for personal reasons asked us to identify him in this way. However, the reason why he contacted me was due to a strange occurrence that together with his colleagues are experiencing in their workplace. A factory that is said to be under intense paranormal activity, and occasionally these phenomena have been captured on camera. Mr. L says that due to company policy, recordings cannot be extracted from the inside. Nonetheless, at the risk of losing his job, our subscriber extracted one of these videos to share with us. Look carefully and tell me what is odd that is occurring here.
En el tío y en el padre. Estaba apagada la luz. La galleta está en la mano, mira. Escucha, estoy viendo lo del fantasma. Es fantasma, hombre, es fantasma. ¿La de arriba?
Did you notice it? That's an arm. Mr. L says that it's a heavy door that closes by itself. I know you know what I'm referring to. Try to remember how hard it is sometimes to open or keep them open. You can see how hard it is to open it when one of the men walks in. He needs to apply pressure with his hand so that the door doesn't slam against his back. How do you explain that arm? Notice how in addition, and as if nothing happened, he opens and walks through the doorway without apparently making any effort. The workers on that shift were asked by the security guard, since, as you can see, one of them looked at the door as if he had noticed something. When questioned, both said they heard something similar to aggressive kicks against the door at that moment. One told the other that perhaps it was the ghost with whom everyone jokes about, but without taking it seriously. None of them could believe the images that you are now seeing. 2 days after this email, Mr. L sent me a second clip. He assures me that the phenomena have not stopped and that he will continue to share the material with us as long as he can. What does your logical denial say about this video? Number 4. The following corresponds to a disturbing image that, despite being shown live by a television channel, went completely unnoticed by the audience. You see, the image comes from the local news that while following the details of a fatal accident, an event was accidentally recorded that one of our subscribers considers completely paranormal. Observe. Can you tell me what that was? At first glance, there seems to be some sort of huge tentacle with a strange end, perched on the wrecked minibus, and that moves extremely fast to disappear from the image. Obviously, it is impossible for it to be an animal, especially since the area was closed off by the police officers and health personnel who were assisting those injured in the accident. How is it that no one noticed the presence of that strange arm? Do you know what this is about? Could it be an implement? Until now, no one has come out to clarify what was shown on the screen that day. Number 3. Thread of Kings. That is the name that is given to a delicious Mexican pastry. This is a typical preparation that Mexicans enjoy making and trying during the first days of January. A pastry recipe that Alejandra Martinez, a regular subscriber to the channel, was determined to learn. She bought all of the ingredients and sat in front of her computer screen to follow a live step-by-step broadcast from Facebook so that everything would turn out perfectly. She did not expect the broadcast to be abruptly interrupted when in front of her eyes, this happens.
Todas las personas que tuvieran alguna panadería familiar, que hicieran rosca de reyes. Todas las personas que tuvieran alguna panadería familiar, que hicieran rosca de reyes.
Alejandra says that the young man who was recording live, at no time does he manipulate nor heat the glass or anything of that sort. There seemed to be no reason for the container to literally explode in front of him. Also, the fact that it happened in the middle of a live broadcast minimizes any possibility of editing. So, how does this happen? How many times in your life has something made of glass just shattered? Let me know what you think. Number 2. The following is perhaps one of the most disturbing cases that I have come across recently, and that surely it will give you much to think about. A young couple in Paraguay was devastated after the loss of their young son. The minor had been buried in a place near his home at their request so that they could constantly visit him. Everything proceeded completely normally. They held a wake for him, said their goodbyes, and then he was buried. No one ever imagined what was about to happen. A couple of days after the funeral, the minor's body inexplicably appeared lying on the bed in their bedroom, wearing clothes they had never seen and did not show any injuries caused by third parties. A chilling scene that not only shocked them and the community, but also caused dismay at a national level, for which several media outlets covered this unusual situation. It was said that malicious people had desecrated the grave as a way to increase the sadness of the parents, but the tomb was intact, with no traces of any interaction, which is why they quickly took out the small coffin under the watchful eye of the media to see if the boy was there. Everyone's surprise was immediate. As you can see, it was empty. So someone or something had removed the child's body. But how did they do that without the tomb being intervened? Notice that they had to break the concrete. Why did they change his clothes and leave him in his parents' bed? Questions that, in addition to the fact itself, keep an entire nation extremely concerned as they cannot find any rational explanation. What do you think about this occurrence? Leave it in the comments. Number 1. We conclude this video with a disturbing urban exploration that a young man alone, only provided with his camera, and dared to do in an abandoned place where, according to the locals, a family had disappeared from one moment to another without leaving a trace. They say that the property lay abandoned for more than 20 years and that at night lights were observed through the window and strange cries were heard coming from this place. Knowing this background, this young man entered the property with the intention of capturing any abnormality that occurred around him. He toured the surroundings without major inconveniences until he entered the house. There, and according to his own words, he would experience the most terrifying thing he's ever gone through. Watch. He says that for sure, he does not know what his camera recorded. He does not know if it was a person or some other being of an unknown origin, because he was so afraid that he simply fled from there. Could someone have played a prank on him? Or could it have been a witch who was in the middle of a ritual? You are the final judge of both this and the other recordings seen today, because this video has come to an end. My name is Leonore Clay, and this was The Darkest Secret.